Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are going to put, hopefully, the rest of the Raptor liner on the camper. Let's get right to it. So as you guys know, I put the first couple of coats on, or coat and a half, and I ran out of material. I started with an 8-bottle system, and I ran out, and I have a little bit more to go, so I bought another 4-bottle system. And just so you guys know, comes with the 4 bottles or liters or whatever they are of the Raptor liner. This is the tintable stuff. Comes with the hardener, comes with a measuring cup, it comes with its own gun. Remember, the gun attaches right to the bottle. Additionally, I purchased the color right through Raptor here, so the orange color, the same pouches that I used before, should match up perfectly. Just a reminder, these bottles are filled to about here with goopy stuff. Then you fill up to this ridge line right here with hardener, and then you add 1 pouch of color to that bottle, and it fills it up pretty good. Put the lid back on, you shake it up really good, attach the gun, and you go. Now I'm not going to use this gun because I already had my previous gun set with a regulator on it so that I could regulate my air pressure. So we'll use this gun. I cleaned it up pretty good, so it should be in good shape. Let's go look at the setup outside. So to get this thing off the trailer, because I had it on the trailer before, you can kind of see my setup. I have it on the tractor right now, but it would be on a vehicle normally. And basically we pull it with the winch of the RTV right off the back till it's hanging off the back of the trailer. Then we block it up with some cribbing, and I'll find something more permanent. From there, you kind of pull the trailer out from under it and keep it braced with the ATV here so that it don't roll forward. You can see I had to put some blocks in front of my tires there because I'm on a hill right here. I don't know if you can tell this in the camera, but it's kind of downhill and it was kind of goofy. But yeah, then we pull the trailer almost all the way out, jack this up, pull the trailer the rest of the way out, and put the rest of the blocking in. It's going to be similar to how I'm going to store this thing. But yeah, for now, that's exactly how we did it. But going around here, I've got some spots that scuffed up good. You know, like right here, I don't know if you can see this very well, kind of turned color a little bit on me almost. And I've got this spot here that was the scuff. And if you can see, some of this actually, you can see the primer through it a little bit. It's thin in some spots. Come to the front, most definitely thin, and the top is that same way. We come over to this side. I think this side's pretty good, but all in all, we're gonna do, looks like we got some more scuffing going on right here. I'm gonna have to come up with a plan to get this on and off the trailer without having this scuffing occur. I'm gonna go quite a bit slower after this last route here, but the back should be good, the bottom should be good. So we'll be finishing kind of the bottom edges, just one more coat over that, just to make sure when the rain kind of falls down around here that it's gonna be protected, and we'll get this front going. So without further ado, let's go mix up some. All right, so we're gonna mix one of these up right now. I've got a little bit of hardener left from the last batch that I'm gonna use up before I get into this one, but basically I'm gonna use this flashlight to be able to see inside here. And I'm gonna add this hardener material, not much left. We can throw this away. This one should pop out a nozzle like that, and then unscrew. And there's a little peel away piece there. We'll go back to here. just gonna fill this up to the marker, to there. Place the lid back on for the next batch. We're gonna go ahead and open up one of our color packets. Now I always check them to make sure that their right color is put in the right one. This one says orange. So I cut the corner off, and it looks just like acrylic paint, but basically put it in there nice and easy so you don't make a mess. Got a sneaky feeling this would be pretty hard to get out of your clothing. I'm wearing an old pair of jeans that I don't really care if they get all colored up, and an old t-shirt that I don't care if it gets colored up. So anywho, we'll put that in there. We just squeeze that the rest of the way out, and we put the lid back on. Make sure it's not cracked or broken, and we start shaking. They say we shake this for 2 minutes. I will not video 2 minutes of shaking, so we'll come back in a moment. All right, so while we're waiting, I got my bottle all shook up. It's ready to attach to the gun. I'm gonna set my regulator pressure. Now you guys can't see this, my regulator is a little bit fuzzy, but I got it set, but I wanna use the nozzle to see where this thing is going to be spraying, or where the pressure is going to be. I've got like 100 feet of hose or 120 feet of hose on here, so the pressure that's here is not exactly going to be what you see while you're spraying. So right now it says 105 pounds, but when I spray it says 60 pounds. So while I'm spraying, I want to see 60 pounds of pressure in my gun. So that's where we're at. Before I was using 40, but I think using 60 will give me a little bit finer coverage, and I can kind of stand back further. We're gonna try this out. So time to connect this. So we just pull this cover off, and you can see our material is nice and orange now. And all you do is stick this down inside of there, balance it on your waist if you're me, and attach the gun just like that, and we're ready to paint. Okay, so we're gonna start on the front, and usually what I'm gonna do is just take a quick spray, make sure my material is coming out, and I'll start kind of right here at the bottom and just like that. That front's probably done now. Now I'm gonna go climb up the ladder and start working on the roof, and I'm not gonna take the camera up there with me, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. I'll come back to you guys here in a little bit. So as I mix up the next batch, I'm going to mention a couple things. Behind me in the background, you see another one of these bottles sitting there. That one actually has lacquer thinner in it. What I found, you're supposed to clean the gun between each mix, and obviously when you're completed, I'm going to sit this down because I'm shaking. But anyway, you're supposed to clean the gun between all the mixes, and the easiest way to do that I found is to have one of the empty bottles. Just fill it up part way with some lacquer thinner, and you can actually spray it right through the gun, cleans the internals, and then if you got some gloves on, spray a little bit in your hand, kind of scrub the outside of the gun out. For me, I'm using a new pair of gloves. I didn't use them in the last one because I forgot them, but I'm using a new pair of gloves for each bottle. Gloves are pretty inexpensive, so just keep this stuff off my hands and whatnot. Now I'm out in the open, and I'm not experiencing really that much smell or fumes from this stuff. You definitely don't want to do this in an enclosed area. I highly recommend do not spray this stuff inside your shop or your garage, unless you have some Visqueen or something to put up to cover everything, because you do get overspray. Found that out on my pants last time and on my shirt. A little bit on the forks of my tractor. Places that didn't really matter to me because I'm doing it outside, but just to note, if you're going to try to mix this up and do this yourself, it works really well. It's actually very satisfying watching this stuff go on, but you do get overspray. You're going to want gloves. I wear safety glasses. I did get a little bit of spatter on my safety glasses that I can see from last time. Yeah, I mean, you might want a long sleeve shirt. What I found is that the few spackles that got on me last time, once they dried, they came off my skin. Not too bad. I mean, I didn't spray it on myself, but it was not too bad. Another thing that I've noticed from last time, if you come over here, you'll see my old bottle, my last bottle, I've got it tipped up. So these guns, they reach into the bottom of this bottle, but you can see the bottom of the bottle is like concaved. So it doesn't actually pick up all the material that's in there. So this time, I feel like I threw away, boy, maybe a third of a bottle last time out of the 8. I mean, it's not much that's in there, but this time I'm gonna try, when this one gets a little low, I'll dump what's left in there into here. Now, once you mix this stuff, you have 1 hour to use it before it's set up to the point where it won't spray out of the gun. So you can see, I don't know if you could see or not, but it took me like 10 minutes to spray that jar out, you know, that last one. So this stuff goes quick, and you kind of want to have a plan of where you're going and what your coverage plan is going to be this time around. So I got most of the roof done that time. This time I'm going to do the second half of the roof. I'm going to start on this front right here. I should be able to finish everything up top with this. Whoops, there. I should be able to finish everything up top with this leader, and then my plan is to use the other 2 leaders to go around and anywhere. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's a few spots down in here where I can see primer still. I just want to give a nice light coat over everything one more time on the outside, just to make sure that I'm got all my bases covered, and we should be golden. So I'm gonna get going on this next one. Okay, so I finished spraying this thing, and I didn't get a ton of video of actually doing it. You guys got to see how to mix this stuff up, how the gun works. Now I want to tell you a couple things that I've learned in doing this. So the first batch that I bought was 8 bottles, and this second batch was 4 bottles. Now, the 8 bottle, it's all exactly the same material. When I started, I was spraying pretty close. I was spraying probably 10 inches away, which made the material go on only in a swath that was probably 3 or 4 inches wide. So it was very concentrated and the splatter was large, and my pressure was probably around 30 to 40 pounds while I was spraying. This time around, I actually turned up the pressure to 60 spray pressure, and I held the gun probably 2 feet, 18 inches to 24 inches away. And what I found was the splatter was more uniform over a wider area, and it went on, I don't want to say thinner, but not in as big of gobs, so your texture was not quite as rough, I should say. So my advice, if you're going to do this, is play with this on a piece of wood or a cardboard or something, and just see kind of what your pattern is going to look like. Mike's going to follow us around. Mike's going to follow us around the camper here. So all in all, I have 12 bottles of Raptor liner on here. Now that includes 2 on the bottom. So if I was going to do this again, I would probably just paint the bottom with something different. I happen to have the Raptor liner, so I used it. So 2 bottles there. However, that being said, I could probably use a whole 12 on this camper on the exterior. I'm happy with what I have, but it probably wouldn't hurt anything to do another light coat all over everything. So 2 more bottles may do that. For me, I'm going to leave it where it's at. I'm pretty happy with the texture. As you go around, I had white primer underneath here, so it's pretty easy for me in the shop to look at my texture and see if I see any small amounts of white showing through anywhere. I went through here with a pretty fine-tooth comb in all the areas on this entire camper side, and the top, the roof area, and back here, I've been around everywhere, and I can't find any spots where I can see white through it. So I think we should be in good shape. So to finish this video off, you can see that I've taken my cardboard out and I can start hooking things back up. Regarding the Raptor liner, it says a full 72 hours to fully cure. As of right now, it's only been 24 hours, so I'm kind of just putting a few things on the inside and trying not to handle the outside too much. I want this to fully harden. I did notice after the first round of putting the liner on, any little scuff or any little mark that I had, the stuff would scrape off pretty easily because it was still sort of rubbery that first 24 hours. After 3 days had went by, it hardened up really well. So we just want to take it easy, let it be for 3 days before you move on. So looking ahead into the camper project, by the time you see this video, I will be moving on to the next few things, which the big deal, it's gonna really start making this thing look nice, is doors are going in, windows are going in. And for the interior, I've got a couple of shelves that I want to build. I'll show you guys that. I ordered a couple pieces of hardware for a table that I want to build that will be able to be used inside, maybe outside. I haven't decided how I want that to be. But then the last big ticket item that I needed purchased was the awning. So we purchased one Smitty built awning. It's 8.5 feet wide, so it'll run 8.5 feet down one side and then extend 6.5 feet out. So it'll give us a nice, dry, shaded area to set up for cooking or sitting, enjoying, whatever. So originally I thought about 2, have one on each side, and I still may do that, but I wanted to buy one of these things. They're like $260 each. So I wanted to get one and make sure that I like it, make sure that it is gonna go on well before I spend over $500, and make sure that's gonna work. So all that said, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you following this build. Hopefully you're getting something out of it, and I'll see you on the next video.